Assalamualaikum and hi to Dr. Izian. We are from Group 4. Today, we would like to present our Project 2 titled Student Mental Stress and Coping Mechanism. This is my team members. I will start with me, Raja Nur Alia, Nur Zulaika, Idina Sofia and Muhammad Musin Muhammad Asakaf. Now, I'd like to take a look at the summary of this presentation. I will start with project introduction, problem, hypothesis statement, followed by correlation test, regression test, chi-square test, and lastly, the conclusion.
Let's start with the introduction of the project. In this study, we focus on student mental health, especially how stress affects their academic and emotional well-being. Using a Kaggle dataset, we explore the relationship between stress level, coping mechanisms, and demographic factors like age, gender, and academic year. By analyzing these variables through statistical methods, we aim to understand how students experience and manage stress, and how this insight can help improve support system in universities. Regarding this project, the problem is university students today face increasing stress due to academic demands, social expectations, and lifestyle challenge. However, there is still a lack of understanding about the key factors that influence their stress, such as age, gender, and peer pressure. At the same time, how students choose their coping strategies to deal with stress is not always clear. Because of this, many institutions struggle to provide proper, data-driven mental health support. Now, moving on to the purpose of this study. The main goal is to explore the relationship between stress and demographic factors like age, gender, and academic year. We also want to analyze how peer pressure contributes to stress level and whether coping strategy preference differ between male and female students. So by doing this, we hope to provide meaningful insights that can help universities create better mental health support system for students. Now, let's move on to the data analysis part. The first one is Hypothesis 2 sample test. A 2-sample t-test was conducted using RStudio to examine whether there is a significant difference in stress levels between students who attend counseling and those who did not. The results show that the mean stress level for students who attend counseling was 5.217, while it was 5.504 for those who did not. The test produced a t-statistic of negative 1.363 with 758 degrees of freedom and a p-value of 0.1733. Since the p-value is greater than 0.05 and the 95% confidence interval includes 0, we fail to reject the null hypothesis. Therefore, there is no statistical significant difference in stress level based on counseling attendance.
For the correlation test, the scatter plot shows each student as a purple dot. The x-axis represents age and the y-axis shows their stress level. What we look for in a scatter plot is the overall pattern or direction of the dots. In this case, the red line is the line of best fit, and it's almost flat with a very slight downward slope. This means that as students get older, their stress level might decrease slightly, but the change is very minimal. The points are widely scattered with no clear clustering, which visually confirms that there is no strong relationship. Numerically, the correlation coefficient is negative 0.048 and the p-value is 0.184, which is greater than the 0.05 significance level. So, we fail to reject the null hypothesis and we conclude that there is no statistically significant linear relationship between age and stress level in this dataset. The scatter plot helps me visualize this clearly. It supports the number by showing that the data doesn't follow a strong upward or downward trend.
Now, I will present the results of the regression test, which examines the relationship between peer pressure and mental stress level. So, as shown in the scatter plot, the red regression line is nearly flat with a slight downward slope. This indicates a very weak negative relationship between these two variables. In other words, as peer pressure increases, stress level slightly decreases, but the effect is minimal. Additionally, the data points are spread widely across all levels of peer pressure without forming any clear trend. This suggests that peer pressure does not consistently predict how stressed a student feels. Based on both the statistical output and the visual representation, we conclude that the peer pressure is not a strong or significant predictor of mental stress in this sample.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Muhammad Saqaf, and our final analysis addresses a key question. Do male and female students cope with stress differently? The textbooks on the right walks you through our method, a chi-square test of independence. The R output on the left provides you the proof. The most important number is at the bottom, the B value, which is 0.5528. Because this is much higher than the 0.05 significant level, our verdict is clear. There is no statistically significant link between gender and coping preference. This is surprising results shows that these strategies are universal, not gender specific. And this leads us to our final conclusion. Our study challenged several common assumptions about student stress. As the hexagon's shape show, we found no significant link between age and stress, that peer pressure is a weak predictor, and crucially that gender doesn't define coping. This brings us to our main recommendation: focus on universal skills. The evidence strongly suggests that providing board support and diverse coping tools for all students is the most effective path forward. This is the key to building a healthier and more resilient campus community for everyone.